What's going on, guys? Snaggy here, and it's time to review round 11 of the 2025 NRL season, boys. And it was a really, really good round of footy. But we do have to interrupt the normal flow of this video. Rather than talking about these tips right away, the New South Wales Blues team list just dropped. Now, I'm going to put it up on screen now. Oops, wrong way. How do I do this? It's all opposite. Yeah, there we go. I'm sure you've all seen this by now. I'd love to hear your thoughts, if you are a Queenslander or if you are a New South Welshman, your thoughts on these. Now, let's just read through it really quickly. We have Edwards, or Stephen Crichton, Latrell Mitchell and Zach Lomax, the back five. Now, I do love that. I really do love that. We have Mitchell, Moses and Cleary in the halves. I would have picked that as well. We just watched the Tigers game. I think Luai plays good around good people, but like people said, well, he did it for Samoa. Have you seen the Samoan team? It's stacked too. I'm sure he would have done great at Origin, but to me, he didn't look like he'd done enough to get selected either. I love Luai. I've been one of Luai's biggest fans from the jump. I was the one that defended him through these Origin times when he was getting picked. But I like Moses better. I just do. Next, we have in the front row, Mitchell, Barnett, Reece Robson, Payne, Haas. Now, there are some injury concerns over Payne and also Stephen Crichton, so we will have to see how those play out. Liam Martin, Angus Crichton, Isaiah Yeo, love it. I prefer at Origin. I actually like Isaiah Yeo as a front rower and Cam Murray there. Cam Murray's not available. Isaiah Yeo has to go in, my humble opinion. And then we get to the bench. Connor Watson, love it. Spencer Lenu, love it. Hudson Young, love it. Max King, this is the only one I don't like. Someone just commented on, because I did a short video of this on YouTube, what, you don't like Max King, bro? I love Max King, bro. Every NRL club needs a Max King or a Josh King in it. A toiler. A dude who's going to give you 8 out of 10 every week. Not for Origin, bro. Yeah. We saw the physicality of even Spence. He could not handle Spence. How's he going to handle Prime, Tino, playing for Queensland? Sorry, man. I don't like it at all. Campbell Graham, love it. Absolutely love it. The human octopus. Stefano, don't love it. Don't hate it, but don't love it. To me, out of those two, I would have gone May and... Who was the other one? It just slipped my mind. May would have had to come in for one of those two. Kulamantangi. For those two. Those two are out, but they're more bench or possibly extended bench players, so I'm cool with that. And then we have Hamole Olakuatu as well, who I do love too. So I think Laurie's actually done a pretty good job here. I really do. I think this is a pretty good team. It's a team that can if plays well and executes well and defends well and plays state of origin footy, can 100% win an Origin series. I don't think any Queenslander looked at this team list and went, sweet. You know what I mean? Like, I always say this around Origin time. Sometimes you have to do the thing that the opposition doesn't want you to do. Sometimes when you're umming and ahhing and it comes down to it, you have to go, who would they not want us to pick? And for me, yeah, I don't think there'll be a Queenslander right now going, oh no, they've picked Max King, you know? So, having said that, huge fan, great dude, just, I don't know about it for Origin. But look, guys, State of Origin, absolutely cannot wait now. Queensland should drop their team list. I drop this video on Monday mornings. I'm recording it now in the middle of Sunday night. Once they're both up, so team lists are both fully up, I will do a full breakdown of both. And I'll talk about it in a little bit more depth. I just wanted to have a little chat about it now, get it out of the way. But yeah, look, great team. Can't wait to see what Queensland come up with as well. Should be awesome. Now, let's have a quick look at the ladder. Let's see if this is fully updated. It should be. Who just played Bunnies, didn't they? Where are the Bunnies? Yeah, they have. Sweet. So, man, Bunnies sitting 7th, man. Sitting 7th. We have the Doggies out on top, 2 points ahead of the Wahs, sitting 2nd, Raiders 3rd. I don't care what anyone says. After 10 rounds, if you said the top 3 would have... I would have said definitely one of these teams could be in the top, but not all 3. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, Someone said to me the other day, you thought the Wahs were going to finish in the bottom 4. I never said that once. I had them in the hunt for the 8. I think I had them 10th or something. But, man, that's crazy. Storm in 4th. Sharkies 5th. Sea Eagles 6th. Rabbitohs 7th. Cowboys 8th. Broncos 10th. And we have Dragons, Roosters, West Tigers. Panthers shoot up into 13th with the bye. That draw actually boosted them up pretty high, didn't it? But I guess if they won that game, so Cows would be on 10 points too. They've got a -2. Whoa. So Cowboys would have dropped down, Broncos would be above them. They'd be sitting in 9th if they won last week. How crazy is this league, man? Then we have Finns, Knights, Eels, and Titans on the bottom. I have Titans for the spoons, so I'm cheering. Let's have I want to have a quick look and see what my see if the prices come in for. I've got picked the Titans up at $11. Let's see what it's come down to. Let's have a little look. See, $11. $4 it's come down to. How good? How good? All right. Knights versus the Eels. Great win from the Eels, man. This is a really, really good win. It's no coincidence. I did miss the first 10 minutes of this, total disclosure. But I think I got a pretty good grasp on the game. Look, man. State of Origin last year. I sat there and go, I cannot wait to watch Zach Lomax and Mitchell Moses play together every week, because that was absolutely beautiful. I loved it. It was incredible. I'd said Mitchell Moses isn't going to do what Ben Hunt does and go away, kick away from Zach Lomax or play towards his side so he literally doesn't have an angle to kick to him. I said Mitchell Moses is going to attack right and kick left. No, attack left and kick right. They've swapped sides. No, he was always on the right, wasn't he? Anyway. And that's exactly what happened. Poor old, what was his name? Bloody, I think it's Hunt? Yeah, Hunt. I was thinking Cant, and then I accidentally said the C and did Hunt. Don't demonetize me, YouTube, please, please. Yeah, I loved it, man. He was under assault this whole game. He actually looks handy though. Like, I will be real. Like, he had an absolute, like, just, bro, literally, like, bro, think about this for a second. The poor lads come in last minute, and they've gone, you have to defend the State of Origin half and wing. So the State of Origin half is attacking you with the State of Origin winger. That just literally won New South Wales Blues a chip. That's rank. That's a rough way to start your career, bro. I actually said in the preview he might be in for a long one, and I didn't even think it'd be that bad. He got absolutely pummeled, man. Zach Lomax 2 tries, just forcing errors, absolutely incredible, man. So huge win. So did the Knights not score again in the second half in this? I've written that down, but I just want to double check that's accurate. Oh no, they did score 1 try. I've written it down. I must have written it down before the game finished. But again, no points in the second half. 6 points, but you know what I mean. No points. Terrible, man. They're just... I don't know what's happened. Like, Knights haven't started seasons well at all, but I was expecting them to at least start clicking a little by now. We're in round 11. They're sitting in, 15th. They've scored 128. They have, I know they didn't have them all for this game. They have Marju, Best, Ponga, and Fletcher Sharp in their team. And in 11 rounds, they've managed to get together 128 points. It's really bad. That's really bad. Look, I don't know what to do either. It just looks so off this time. So what happened the last couple of years with the Knights was Callum Ponga went down around round 6 or 7 or 8 or somewhere around, roughly around those times and they started to play some really good team footy because they weren't just trying to play through Callum Ponga the whole time. And then you dropped Kalen Ponga back in, and it just was like, oh, just like, it's so good to watch. Last year, last second half of the season, they were easily my favourite team to watch. Like, they were so lethal. It was absolutely insane, but it's just all fallen to pieces this year, and it doesn't look that... I don't know, man. I have a feeling Kalen Ponga's just honestly going to bounce. So he doesn't look interested. I know he ended up playing decent. Like, he's not playing horrible or anything, but yeah, I don't know, man. It just looks off to me, hey. Like 69% completions, 300 metres down on Parramatta. I mean, Parramatta Eels almost doubled your line breaks, you know. It's not like you didn't have quick play the balls either. Like, seriously. Yeah, it was crazy. Loved seeing, again, the Fox getting some early ball. That was nice. And I just want to give Jack Williams a rap. He put a right step on, I think it was Ponga. He is nice. He reminds me a little bit of Satili, where people are like, man, like, why? You know, when people are like, man, he's actually really good. I'm like, yeah, man, he's getting minutes, bro. Like, he's been good. Every time I watched him play, I was like, man, that guy's good. But he just didn't seem to get the minutes he'd get at Parramatta. He's really nice. He could be one of those really, and that's the way the front rowers are going these days. These bigger, more powerful, agile front rowers rather than just size. And like, yeah, I thought it looked great. Really good. I thought, Dylan Walker was great. That ball Dylan Walker through to the left was just magnifico. But yeah, let's have a look, see how Parramatta sort of, who got them their meters. Look at that. Zach Lomax, 271, 93 post-contact, 2 line breaks, 1 line break assist. That's why he's in State of Origin, ladies and gentlemen. Bro hasn't played. Will Penasini, what a game from him. 179, 59, 122. Yeah, that's crazy. Dylan Brown scoring a try against his club too. Look, again, I don't have the answers for the Newcastle Knights. I actually don't. Normally I'm like, they should do this and do that. It's just my opinion. I'm not saying it's going to work, but with the Knights, it's almost throwing the towel. Like, to me, them and the Titans are playing the worst footy right now. I just hope they can get it together because I love watching them play when they're going good. I'm not too sure how long. Let's have a look, see how long. So Marju hamstring to be confirmed, and Marju's only out a couple of weeks, so that's good. Parramatta Eels get Colin Tuolangi back. And, round 19? He's my new favourite player. Love that. Oh, he's not my favourite. He's one of my favourite players. Favourite young players coming through. He's nice. But yeah, great win from the Eels. Doggies Roosters. Another second half comeback. Now, boys, I sat here. This is obviously a tale of two halves. Now, look, Roosters are up 14-0 at half-time, but if you're in my Discord, you would have seen me comment, if Roosters play like that again, they're going to lose. And it sounds like a weird thing to say because they were up 14-0 on the team that's coming first. But they just they'd put down so much ball in the first half in terrible positions. Like, they knocked the ball on inside their own 30 3 or 4 times. Dogs just weren't good enough to capitalise. And they had all their energy and they were fine. And, it was just... But I just felt like Doggies, if I felt like, even though it was weird, like they were up 14-0, I was like, they have to play better if they want to win. It's just such a weird thing to say. And, bro, I could not have been more right at halftime. But look... what I took most out of this was, there was a few things, right? First, Trent Robinson, massive L's. Spencer Linu, White and Radley together were absolutely owning Bulldogs middle. Okay, so this is where they mucked up for me, right? There's some glaring things. So for how bad Roosters were, like, it was actually crazy they got this close to the best, which is essentially the best team in the comp, sitting on top of the table. So they did all these errors. Robbo fumbled so hard. His middles were dominating so hard. Someone said, Spence was gassed, that's why they left him off. So you get your gas back in 10 minutes, bro. Like 15, you are back to normal. You're fine. Spence sat they sat Spence White and I think Radley roughly all around the same time, around the 30-minute mark. Spence didn't come back on until 8 minutes ago. He was dominating that game. Like, he literally KO'd Max King on his first carry. I know he didn't get HIA'd, but he was groggy. He lost some brain cells in it. KO'd Fafita 5 minutes later. I know he fumbled the bag a couple times, but White off the back of it, it was 3 meters cheat code, and then he staggers them back in. Like, look what Cleary used to do, man. Like, with Fish and Moses, he would hold them off, boom, drop them both in together. Give me 25 of your best, boys. And they were just, I'm telling you now, Roosters could have won this in so many different. If they dropped both those guys back in with about 25 to go, they win this game. Another way they would have won this game. We all know why Nwanganitawase now has been playing in the centres and not in the wing. The bro cannot catch. I love bro. All I've heard from that game this whole weekend was how good his try was and how great it was and what a good addition to rugby league it was. Bro cannot catch. He can't catch. He has no hand. That try, by the way, was flawless, but he can't. Bro, that was awful. The Birdo bomb, sweet, whatever. But he was in such a bad position to take that, and it was like Birdo didn't hit it. Like, it was a Birdo bomb, but it wasn't the biggest Birdo bomb I've ever seen. The rest were just end over ends. He was jumping way too early. He was jumping when he didn't need to jump. He was so bad. Like, again, if Marky Mark could just catch, they win this game. This was the other thing, just going back to the Spencer Leno and White thing. Lindsay Collins is coming back from an injury. I think it was an MCL or something. He was clearly out on his feet I reckon he was on the field, out on his feet for 12 minutes. That, I think it was not Harry Hayes. What's his name? The young fella. The Bulldogs. Came off the bench. Bailey Howard. He's a gun. But that step, when he stepped through, did he score or did he set the try up? He set the try up. That was not that good of footwork, bro. He made him look like prime RTS. He just literally stepped towards him and went... It was not... If you watch it, he steps, but he steps about this... Where's this camera? About this far. Like, it was not a big step. And Lindsay Collins missed him by a metre. Like, it was atrocious. He was gone out on his feet. Yeah, he's got 2 fresh blokes sitting there who just dominated the very pack that's on the park, and you leave them on the bench. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. And just one last thing too, and this is the final thing, how I think the Roosters win this game if they just... But this one's like, this happens. Bulldogs' edges defensively are so good. Like Critter, Bronson, Karaz, Montoya, they're doing such a good job. And Viliami. Spence, White and Victor were so dominant through the middle. So Roosters had so much... They had quite good field position in the last 5 minutes, roughly, around that time. Bulldogs 4-pack was... I know everyone said they're super fit, and they look great, but they could not contain them still. I honestly think if they just went Spence, carry, White, carry, Victor, carry, Spence, carry from the 30-metre, I think they just crash over the line and score. Victor Radley... Like, just think about this for a second. When you talk about getting to your front, you catch the ball, run, hit you pull sort of half through, you get to your front. What's that 5 metres out? It's a try. They were on their front every time they got tackled. But yet they attacked left, Critter just locks you down. They attacked right, Sherry locks you down. They just passed, they went from side to side, side to side, side to side. Bulldogs were like, cool bro, yeah, nice try. Yeah, what, seriously? No. Massive L's from the Roosters, man. They fumbled that bad. Bulldogs gave them so many opportunities to win that, and they didn't. Having said that, great win from the Bulldogs, man. Got to sort out their first halves, obviously. But look, they're just doing enough to win games. And like I said, I was a little bit critical. A few people were sort of bagging what I was chatting about with the Wahs. I'm sort of putting the Wahs and the Bulldogs in this category because I don't think they're... I think what's happened here is the Penrith Panthers have sort of muddied my mind on what a premiership team looks like because Like last year they weren't flawless, but they were close. The year before that they were. The year before that they were. The year before that they were. And I was like, well, that's what it takes to win a premiership, right? I don't think you have to look like that this year. I think you can get away with playing. I think Penrith over the last 4 years have played good for 75 minutes every game. I don't think you need to this year. You know what I mean? And that's why I'm going to give the Bulldogs a bit of a crack, even though, they're probably only playing 60 minutes of good footy. 55 sometimes. 40 sometimes. It's winning. Who cares? Like I said, Critter on that edge. I was going to sit there and say, man, I've written down here, man, he has to be the best defensive centre in the game. I think Campbell Graham just got him, though. Oh, my God. Wow. But look, man, Bulldogs doing this with a lot out. You got to be impressed. They're sitting on top of the table. I said they needed to win 7 of their first 10 if they want a genuine shot at the Prem, because their draw gets a lot harder towards the end of the year, and they've just done 9. Congratulations, Bulldogs. That's an A++. You got it done. You can't really complain. Like I said, I can sit here and find so many things they're doing wrong. Who cares? You're winning. Vs Wahs. Now, I did miss the first 10 minutes of this one too, but it's sort of this year, boys. Just sort of heads up. My young fella's obviously gets older every year. I don't know if you know how kids work, but his footy games are all later now. When you're like playing under 10s and stuff, under 11, like you play at like 8 in the morning. Now he's like playing at under 15s. It's like, bro, settle down. What's this 1 o'clock game? What the hell? One sec, boys. So yeah, I've been missing like the very starts of games and stuff from time to time. But it is what it is, man. Family first. My YouTube lad's second. Missus third. Where we at? Gilbert, unfortunate. That sucks. Feel so sorry for him, bro. I really do. He's such a gun. Now look, again, I sit here and I talk about footy, not refs, and people always get my comments going, why don't you mention the... Because I talk about footy and not the refs, that's why. But let me talk about this. Dolphins, I've been riding. I love yous. Yous are great. I have a friend that's in your development squad, soon to be top 30. I love yous. They help my young fella out. They're awesome. But you didn't lose this game because of a 50-50 call that didn't go your way. You lost it because of this. Okay, that was it. This was at 68% for the majority of the game. All right? You lost it because of 30 missed tackles, 16 errors. The penalty count was even. That's why the game was lost, boys. They played good for 5 minutes. The better team won this game. Forget scores. Let's just say you had to judge it. Like, pretend it's a fight, right? Pretend it's a fight, like a UFC fight. And you had to judge it and go, Warriors win this. You just go, they were the better team. They were, man. The better team won, unfortunately. I love you, Dolphins, but I didn't understand. They got robbed. At that point that knock-on happened, they were playing so terrible, they would have just knocked the ball on anyway. They only played good for 5 minutes. When that knock-on happened, I don't know when it was, the 20th, 20 to go. Who cares? They would have just knocked the ball on anyway. They were playing so bad at that point. But they did come home at the end, make it pretty close, pretty tight. But yeah, just failing to pull the trigger a little bit. It was disappointing for me because I sat here watching beat Parramatta. I'm like, they're back. 95% completion rate. And then they come out. I know they finished with 74 or whatever, but they completed dead set at 65% for the majority of this game. Now, Bulldogs fans, I just gave you big raps. These are awesome. But I do want to have a little rap with a little go at your fans, all right? I've got to have a go at your fans here for a second. Warriors fans, listen up. I keep hearing from all Warriors fans. I hear it all over. I hear all the Bulldogs podcasts that are going on. There's about 30 of them, including NRL 360, because Braithen has to. Best fans. Not only did the Broncos get a bigger crowd than you at a home game this weekend? So did the Dolphins, bro. The goddamn Dolphins got you. Third biggest crowd? The Dolphins got you? Bulldogs fans, man. You can't be doing that. You can't be doing that. Come on, bros. Getting beaten by the Dolphins? Beaten by the Dolphins, bro? That's just rubbish. But look, man, I think the Dolphins are better than, where did they sit in the 16th? 14th? But they're going to work some stuff out. They need a bit of luck too, I mean, seriously. They really do, but they're just... They complete it. If they complete it 90% like they did against Parramatta, they win this game. Okay? They win this game. Because Wahs weren't at their best either. On to the Wahs, talking about the Bulldogs. Like I said, I'll put them in a similar basket. So far from perfect. I can find a lot of things wrong with what they're doing, but, I mean, scoreboard. Look where these two teams are sitting. You know what I mean? Scoreboard. Now, will playing like this win your comp? I think both teams have to be better. Well, maybe they don't. Maybe no one else comes to the party and it's a Warriors-Bulldogs grand final. I would love that grand final. That would be epic. That would be an epic grand final. Man, I hope that happens. Wahs Doggies grand final. That would be sick. Look, I just want to give Kurt Capewell a rap. Locks down Herbie Farnworth. Top 3, at absolute worst, top 5 centre in the game. Wow, like, when did he become a hitman as well? He's been putting shots on. Like, he's been absolutely incredible. The other one I wanted to... I feel like I'm harping on with it, but... Like that try Kurt Capewell scored, and everyone was just everyone's glazing him and Metcalf who set it up. It came off the back of Aaron Clark's carry the time before that. He's the best lock in the game at the moment, like hands down. And this is what makes this so crazy, right? Like, you always know I had pretty big raps on him at the Gold Coast, but this is how crazy this is. I run a YouTube. An NRL YouTube and TikTok page, and I keep up to date with the news and I post about it. Aaron Clark going to the Warriors was such little news, I didn't even hear about it. NRL didn't post about it. Fox News didn't post. Like, no one even cared. It was like, you know how small a deal you have to be for those guys in an off-season to not mention you've gone to another club? I'm sure Warriors outlets covered it, but I didn't see that anywhere. And I'm an Aaron Clark fan, and I have a YouTube, and he's come out and like seriously, name 3 more informed locks than him. Like, he is the best at the moment. I can't think of anyone better. Absolutely incredible, man. It's actually insane. I actually really like this dude, eh? The Malteser. Look at that Malteser he's got going on. Vaimunga was good. Laban was good. Yeah, man, this team's rocking. They're going to lose Barnett through Origin. They can only get better, boys. I'm actually super impressed. Look at this completion rate. Boom. 1,500. They got beaten through the middle. That's crazy. 2 line breaks apiece. Look at that play the ball speed, though, man. That play the ball speed. I would like to see them play a little more expansive. This ain't enough for me. 4 offloads. They win in a lot of contact. Like I said, they need, well, they do. They need to find points in the second half. To me, sometimes rather than create shape, the easiest way, if you just hit, boom, my arm is wide open. There's Luke Metcalf. There's Chanel. There's Aaron Clark. Just toss it to him, bro. Only throw it if it's there, but throw it, bro. I want to see this get up to about 8. But yeah, great. I just want to have a look at some of the Warriors' numbers here, because I didn't get to check them after the game, actually. What happened here? Player stats. This is the thing. As long as the Warriors are aware of what they're doing, they're not getting done. It's not so much that they're doing anything wrong. I just think it's playing a little not quite expansive enough. As long as they're working on fixing it and collecting dubs, you know what I mean? Like, who cares? No crazy numbers here, just a real team effort. Real team effort. I'm not too sure how Fisher-Harris is going to go. That shot was pretty full on, so we'll have to see. But great win from the Wahs. So happy for them sitting second. I was so happy they're sitting second. Cowboys, Sea Eagles. This game was such a letdown. It just really was. I was so bored in this game. Like, two of my favourite teams, offensive-minded teams. I was sitting there, it's going to be a cracker. They Manly get the ball off the kickoff. Shift left. Line break. Nearly score. Turbo bombs a try. I had Turbo for a try scorer. Cool, whatever. Cowboys get the ball. Shift left. Line break. Nearly score. I'm sitting back. How good's this game going to be? That was about all the action we got. It was so boring, unless you're a Manly fan. I did not feel this game much at all, but look, let's talk about the halves combo. Let's talk about where the Cows go from here, because there's not much to talk about in the game. I liked this without loving it. I don't know if now's the time to be blooding Purdue and putting Dearden in this role. Who else did I say it about? I will talk about Harry. I was talking about Harry Hayes with a Bulldogs fan, but I was talking to a Cowboys fan about Purdue. Oh yeah, but he's always played six in Malmaninga Cup and under whatever 17s, 18s. It's the NRL, bro. Do you know how many halves have come into the NRL? Do you know how many halves have played for Australia in the juniors and not made or just had a terrible NRL career? I don't know if now's the time. I have no issue with him sitting out in the centres for a year or two. I don't know why everyone wants to rush him in here. Could be wrong. He could be fine, and I hope I am wrong, because I actually hate seeing those really good players' careers go down the toilet when they get chucked in too early. But it's not so much that he's there. I like him there. But I'm not sold on Dearden being a genuine 7. Like, just like he's a stiff guy, you know. He's not like a fluid athlete like a Mitchell Moses is a fluid athlete or stuff like that. He's a stiff, strong guy like Ethan Strange. You know, he's strong, stiff, great defender. Other than a good show and go and running game, you know what I mean? Without dissing him too hard. Know what I mean? Game management, kicking game, building pressure, you know what I mean? I think you got 2 6s in your halves. I hope I'm wrong. Where this could work though, I guess you can't really game. I guess game management's not hard. He'll pick that up, obviously. I'm sure he's doing a good job of it anyway. It's hard for me to know whether he's managing the game wrong. I'm not on the field, but wrong or right, I'm not on the field. But I guess if Scotty Drinkwater can be that more ball playing guy, and those two are literally twos. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? You got 2 running 6s, and then your ball player is pretty much strictly Drinky. I don't know. Maybe that could work. You know, there's more than one way to skin a cat. We'll see how the Cowboys go. But just like, I thought it was good without being great. I'm a little worried they'll fall into this trap of just chopping and changing this team. They put, Duffy in, dropped him. They brought Clifford back, dropped him. We're in round 11. They've dropped 2 halves out of the team. That can fall apart really quick, you know. So hopefully it plays out and goes good, because I hate seeing halves really sort of not do well. But look, not much to talk about for Manly other than Turbo looks busted. I'm glad he didn't get picked for Origin. Manly looks pretty disinterested. Luke Brooks, I need to see him more. I know he's not on that $1 million in a year, but I still want to see him do more, bro. You're still a top shelf, number 6 in the game, you know, all that sort of stuff. But the main thing for me is they're just bully more. I love him off the bench, but I don't know if he's at your starting front rower. He can fill in for a game or two or whatever. it's all of a sudden so thin on the bench. Like, they need Paseka, Aloye back, these guys. Let's have a little look, see when they are back. Aloye, round 12, boom, there you go. There's one. Week later, simply, boom, there you go. When the hell is Croker coming back? Because they need him too. They need a genuine 9 out there. So they could come good pretty quick. They could be pretty good by round 14, 15 and make a good steam, like make a good run home. But I'm just not feeling it. And I was high on Manly. And Paseka. If they can get these 3 back by round 14, go on a bit of a run, then you drop Paseka back into this team at the end, all of a sudden we're talking. You know, we're cooking with a bit of gas then, all right? So we'll have to see how it goes, but yeah, not feeling Manly. I know it was a great win, but it just doesn't look right. It just doesn't look right to me. Sharkies, Storm, banger, loved this. This was a fraud check game from the Sharkies, and they passed. Sorta. It was 5 tries apiece. I don't think we saw the best Melbourne here. So I can't... Man, this is the thing, right? I want to get behind the Sharkies. I want more contenders. Because right now, you know what I mean? I want 5 genuine contenders. I'm trying to find more. And I sat here and said, if they beat Melbourne, I can put them on that list. And they beat Melbourne, and I'm putting them on the list. But there's just something in here. There's just something in here that just doesn't feel like they genuinely are. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is. I just don't know what it is. I think they got a little lucky that Melbourne didn't come out and put a Melbourne first half on. Just to put in perspective, Melbourne are averaging nearly 30 points in first halves. In the first half, Melbourne completed 11 sets. That never happens, bro. That is outrageously low. 11 sets in a half of football from the Melbourne Storm. You know, and they completed 11 sets and they scored on 2. You get what I mean? And then I thought they did a great job. So they Melbourne get on top. And then I thought they did a great job of sort of wrestling back the momentum with this Atkinson try. But yeah, I think they got a little lucky here with Melbourne's start just being so bad. Because let's just say that you flipped the halves, right? And they you know, this is minute 4, that's minute 6. You know, and they put those 2 tries on early. I think this could be a different game. I just really do. But look, I don't want to be negative on the Sharks because this was a win. It was a great win. They played awesome. They did an awesome job of wrestling the momentum back off. That was the thing I was actually most impressed with. When Melbourne did come out swinging, they did wrestle it back, and then it sort of got wrestled away, but then they wrestled it back again. It didn't just go so many times with teams that the momentum's gone and it's gone until the ref goes half time or full time. They did wrestle it back a couple of times, so I have to give them mad credit for that. I thought Trindle's kicking game was incredible. This is the other thing too. I'd love to see Hines and... I mean, it's hard. I'd love to see Hines and Trindle fire together. It always seems to be one or the other, you know? But I just want to give this dude, to me, was the best player on the park, maybe other than AFB. Brayley, it's very rare when this dude's on the park that the opposite number over here had a better game. He was incredible, man. He terrorised Melbourne's ruck. He was great. He was so good, man. We have to just talk about it too. This is a big L from Melbourne, in my opinion, and this is why I've never... When Jerome Hughes, everyone's talking about, I think he's nearly as good as Cleary, or I think this is why I've never quite been able to put him on top of those guys. Coates just takes a leap from the gods and scores one of the dopest tries. We had some awesome tries this weekend. One of the best an AFL player would be jealous of, you know. They get the ball back in great field position. I know they moved Ronaldo Mulatalo to the other side. My answer to that is so. Did you see how high Xavier Coates got up on that? Like, you had to kick back out to that side, bro, and you put the dumbest kick in ever. Stupid grubber in. Turn the ball over. Sharkies wrestled momentum back. Great. So yeah, like I said, it sounded like I was being super negative on the Sharks. I'm not. This was a great win, and they're all of a sudden sitting in. Where are they? 5th, tied with the Storm. That's good. That's great. So, look, Sharkies are just doing everything. They're good, man. They've been doing a lot of travel. They've got a lot more games at home. They're not going to lose many players at State of Origin. They're back. They're going to be there or thereabouts for sure. They're looking like they probably will squeeze into that top 4. It'll be damn close if they don't. And they're going to be there or thereabouts. I just feel like they need one more. What's the name of the game? Not a highlight game, but if someone can think of the word for me. You know what I mean? Like not a trophy game, but like a big win game where we look back and go, yeah, but they pumped the doggies by 40. You know what I mean? Like one of those types of games where you're just like, damn, I didn't know they had that in them. So maybe this is it. Maybe we'll look back and go, yeah, man, of course they pumped Melbourne, like they. So yeah, great win for the Sharkies. Good on them, up the Sharkies. I missed the very start of this game too, but it looks like all the action was in the second half anyway. I jumped in the Discord about 20 minutes into the game and said, what have I missed? And everyone wrote nothing. Everyone wrote nothing. Look, man. I said this in my post-game TikTok video, man. I feel like you can learn a lot about a team when there's a man in the bin offensively. I mean, like, if you're the man down, if your team has a man down or the other team does. If you're a good team, it is so evident that you have an extra man on the park. Or if you're down the man, you're defending, you sit there and go, it doesn't even look like they're a man down. If you can't strip a team and score points, or at least look likely to score points, Dragons beat you 12-2 with a man in the bin. That lost them the game. Like, that's Bush League, bro. Absolute Bush League, man. Look, just on the Broncos, a little bit like the Knights, I'm just a bit baffled here. I don't understand why they're losing games the way they are. They don't look horrible. It just doesn't look very good. They could have easily won this game, by the way. Like, Knights sort of been getting pumped, so maybe not a good comparison, but Ezra Mann looked good, but he's going to take a little bit to get back into it. One thing I wish I had a proper look was his defense. Let me know, guys, if you have a better insight to that to me. I wasn't watching his defense super closely. 3 try assists and a try, though. I mean, if you leak one, that's cool. If you've got those sort of numbers on the paddock. But, yeah, just... I don't know, man. I'm just a bit baffled. I mean, look at this team list, man. Like, look at this team list, bros. Like... Top 4. If you're not in the top 4, you're failing. I'm not saying you should be the best. You should be in the top 4. This is a top 4 roster. You've got an international winning coach. You've got a State of Origin winning coach. You've got a premiership winning coach. Should be in the top 4. You really should. I don't have much else to say on the Broncos other than I really do hope they turn it around because, again, I love watching them play. Onto the Dragons. This is an awesome win for them. Now, where are they sitting now? Let's refresh my memory. They're sitting 10th. That's great. That's good, man. Look, if you watch my preview, right, I sort of sat here and said, look, man, I don't know about the Dragons, bro. Like, they're good, but if Gutho doesn't get going, there's not much on, and rah. Gutho was on one, bro. You know what I mean? Like, Gutho was on that one. There was a try where he touched the ball 3 times. There was a try that put them back in front. It was like touch, kick, get back, pass to someone, they pass back there. He is a freak, bro. He's the one player I get a little sensitive about when someone's like, Nathan Cleary's trash. I'm like, okay, bro. Like, we're paying us, he's like, okay, man. When someone said Gutho's trash, it really triggers me. Because I can see why people think that. But like, he is so far from trash. It just bothers me. I don't know why. It just does. It just bothers me. I mean, what do you end up with? 3 try. What do you end up? Let's have a quick look. Actually, let's give the king a rap. So he's 2 tries, 234 metres, 2 line breaks, 8 tackle breaks. But flawless positional play, energy, leadership. He's got it all, man. The only thing he doesn't have is, like, if Clint Gutherson, that might be the wrong. And I was about to say had Turbo's body. Turbo's body breaks down. Who's someone? Who's a tremendous athlete? Who's a good athlete? Not Trell either. Okay, can you imagine if you put his skill set in like Trell's body or something, or even like a Kohler from Manly, just a fast, like, bigger body. Be over, bro. You'd be top. You'd be playing Origin on the reg. Seriously. But yeah, look, man, Broncos not completing high enough. Dragons just hanging around, get it done. Yeah, it was. I did like Ezra Mann's footwork. He was doing sort of what Kalen Ponga does, how he gets the ball sort of as someone's getting to him, he just skips around him with his hips and goes bang. I really like that. But look, I mean, look, they won the meters battle, but not by much. I mean, you got state of origin players littered through your team. Yeah, it's look, they got them pretty handily in the post contact, I guess. 7 line breaks to 3, and you lose. This is outrageous stuff. 10 offloads to 10. Yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe just play through the middle a little bit more. Outside, insides, turn guys under. Just, I don't know if the Broncos just need a rebuild. Like, you look at the Bulldogs, right? Even you look at Parramatta, Tigers to an extent. I think when you get new coaches in, I think Parramatta's doing it now and they're doing a good job. They said, okay, sorry, you're playing reserve grade, lads. We've got these we're building something new. I don't like your effort. I don't like your attitude at training. Madison, I know he played this weekend, but Madison, you can go play some New South Wales Cup. Someone's like, but no, we don't want you from beyond next year. You're playing Cup. Bring these new guys in. Doggies did it. Got railed for a year. It's like, but I don't know if Broncos need that. You know what? Jordan Ricky. Sorry, mate. So-and-so. Sorry, mate. Poor attitude. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's what they need. I'm not saying those. I just pluck 2 random names out of my head then, but you get what I'm saying? New coach comes in. I think the new coach needs the roster he needs. You get what I'm saying? It's pretty hard to ask a guy, let's just say Jordan Ricky again, to do something when he wasn't brought to the club to do that, when he's never done that. You get what I mean? Like, whereas if he's like, I need hard line running second rowers. You go, sorry, Jordan. This kid, we're going to bring him in. You're playing Cup. You get what I'm saying? We don't need that just good defensive guy who's going to chase down kicks. We need this. So, yeah, just a thought. Food for thought. Raiders Titans. Man, I said in my post game, I said this game pretty much went exactly how I thought. I was thinking more 3 tries to about 6, but I was thinking Titans score a few. So we hit our double up in this one, which was Titans score a couple. Raiders score a few more. That's Hardy Young to score. Bang, bang, bang. How good. Titans, bro. Look, I actually really liked... I've said this before. I love Kenny. I love Campbell. I love... who's the other one? Campbell. Yeah, those 3. And yeah, so anyway... as of today, this year, I actually think AJ Brimson is their best fullback. I think Kinney has more upside, but Titans need to start winning games. I actually really liked that, and he set up a try in the first 5 minutes. And I was sitting there going, oh no, have I got this wrong? Other Titans, you know what I mean? If I knew Brimson was there, maybe I would have, wouldn't have put the unders on the Titans in the second half. But I was sitting there going, oh no. But then it's just sort of, like I said, it just collapsed a little bit when RCG, Mo, Tino, go off. And these guys, now, this is the thing, they're not bad. Like, they're okay, but they just lose enough that the other team can get on top of you. And then it just really doesn't come back. And this was just a constant drip feed of tries. I mean, we've got the 12th minute, 22nd, 26th, 37th, 40th, 45, 51, 74. There was no point. Like, if you just look at how far apart those tries are, there was no 15-minute domination from the Titans. You get what I mean? It was just a constant drip feed of tries. And, I mean, Fogarty had a bit of a stinker with a boot. I mean, it probably should have been 46 to 24, And, Titans are in trouble, man. There's a team there. I think they can win games. They're not playing disgustingly bad, but I just don't like the makeup of the team. I've been saying it the whole time. However, I thought this was their best spine they've put out there. I really like Verrills. I like Campbell and Foran at 6 and Brimson at 7. So maybe they will turn it around. Like that to me was their best looking spine. So hopefully they stick with that, get some games going, and they might be able to jag some wins. Now, on to the mighty Canberra Raiders. I'll talk about the only negative for the Raiders for me right now is like this right here. They are leaking a few too many points in their wins. They're leaking a few too many points. Just overall, if this was 18, I'm feeling a lot better about the Raiders. It's just constantly 4 tries. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't think you have to win. I don't think you have to keep your teams to 0 or anything. The game is set up for tries to be scored. I think leaking 16 to 18, 19 points a game is fine. It's just this 24-point stuff is a little, because if your offense is a little off and you can't contain a team to under 24, you know what I mean? That's where it could get a little ugly for them in finals and stuff like that. They're winning plenty of games, but like just when the points are a little harder to come by in finals, I'm a little worried there. And then obviously just Weeks out the back can look a little dodgy under the high ball. But besides that, I'm just loving everything they're doing. Like Weeks, he's looking nice. Like their outside backs, this Tamale, Tomoko, Chris, Savage. This is top shelf stuff. Ethan Strange, I think he's the best young 6 in the game. Jamal Fogarty actually had a little off night and he was still great. His bombs were still good. Like it didn't matter. Just kicked it deep. Forward pack was great. Hudson Young, Zach Hott. They ran a play, bro. They ran a play. Hoskins out to... No, they'd hit Hoskins, who turned and passed out the back to Weeks, who passed out to... Which try was it? Was it to Tomoko? I was sitting there going, Canberra. That was like Penrith in the grand final last year. What happened to the Canberra I know last year who would get the ball on the 20-metre line and would have 4 crash plays? What happened to that team? Where's this slick ball playing coming from? It's magical. Thank you, Canberra Raiders, for bringing a bit of life into the old Snaggy and to Canberra Raiders fan. I was thinking last year, bro, I'm sitting there watching Canberra Raiders attack inside the 20 and just going, what the are they doing? Like they did not pass 2 metres outside the posts, not even the tram lines. Like you haven't ventured outside. You can't go 5. You can't play wider than 2 metres outside the posts. How are you going to score tries there? The team, man, I would have been just so furious if I was a Raiders fan. Now they're running plays that look that play they did looked. They almost ran it better than Penrith did in the grand final. The one where they got Alamotti over. Well, Alamotti got someone over, I can't remember. So good. So good. I love to getting the ball to their edges, nice. Hudson Young and Hoskins is in tonight, but it has been Nicholson. Locking in, it's creating space on the edges. The edges are fast and have footwork. Fast footwork kills, bro. It's they're a team, man. They got a bench. They got depth. I I mean, they've got this mullet sitting on the sidelines, just waiting to be unleashed. Love them. Up the milk. Where they sitting third? Third place. Brilliant. Brilliant from the milk. West Tigers, Rabbitohs. Turned into a cracking game. We got to look at some of these stats because Kulamattangi and Tyrrell May did not make the team. And I find that shockingly hard to believe because I'm almost positive these dudes put up some bulk numbers. Tyrrell May, 199, 79 post-contact. So good, man. He was so good in this game. I cannot believe he didn't get picked. Let's have a look at. I mean, that's impressive. 200 in the middle for a front rower, but let's Keon, bro, where are you? 329 meters with no line break. He didn't have a 60-70 meter line break to prop these numbers up. 140. If a front rower runs for 140 metres in a game, you're like, wow, what a game. Great game from Ruben Cotter. That's his post-contact, bro. Ran for 329. 4 tackle breaks. Unbelievable. Bro went GOAT mode. And his last run was as good as his first run. Massive, massive raps. He could not play better. I heard the commentary say, oh, you know, he's pretty good for I think he said for an undersized front rower. I'm telling you, boys, just listen to me. I've chatted to recruiters. I've chatted to, you know, development guys in rugby league, and the big props gone. The Blake Lorries, that body shape, you don't have to be big to be a front row anymore. You need some wheels. You need the wheels. And Keon has wheels, bro. Check his legs. They are thick. You need wheels, strong core, and powerful. You don't have to be big. 105 kegs will get it done now. You don't need to be 130 anymore. Unless you can move like Payne Haas, that 130 kilo prop's done. Unless you're like, you know, an impact front rower like Nelson or something. But their starting front rowers in forwards are going to look like Paddy Carrigan, Keon, King, Spence. That's what they're going to look like. The Sam Cassiano days, the Blake Lorry days, they're gone. This is the new wave, and yeah, it's cool to watch because I like a fast game. I really do. And these guys can hit too. Like you have to be able to hit. Like you have to be able to hit those big guys. You have to be as powerful as those big guys, but you're in a smaller body. That makes sense. The recruiter said we want to. I won't say which team, but he said our front row is going to look like Pat Carrigan in 5 years. And he didn't mean skin colour. He meant build. Yeah. Look, I knew Bunnies were on when Trell took that first carry. He had 2 really tough carries in the first 5 minutes. Just ran back with venom. It was actually good to watch. And look, I'll talk about the Tigers first. And they just didn't play much footy for the first. I don't know what they were thinking, and this is going to derail me into the Bunnies, unfortunately. But so they kicked the ball down to Buller, right? Buller would sprint out towards Campbell. What are you going to achieve by going out to that edge other than getting wrapped up by the best defensive centre in the game, dragged back and get a slow play the ball? You're better off running at front rowers than running out towards his thing. Campbell Graham's defence is on another planet. Like it is. If you're a young outside back, watch him. It is perfect. So I didn't understand it. Api Coruscant absolutely carried them. They don't get close. I think they get beat. Well, they do get beat to nil. Right? He scored their only 2 tries. Yeah, they get beat to nil in this game if Api's not on the field. He absolutely snatched Latrell Mitchell's ankles twice. Dead set carried that team. But yeah, I didn't understand why they kept going towards. I understand that. It sort of sounds weird that I'm saying this, but they've been attacking right too much, and I was a little critical of them not attacking left enough. Tonight they attacked left and got absolutely like Dewey, like Campbell Graham, dead set. Took Adam Dewey, put him in a stroller, put a dummy in his mouth, and walked him around the footy field. Put a little baby bonnet on. Bro owned Dewey. Bro, Dewey. I haven't seen someone get dominated so hard in a game before, like in this one-on-one centre. Like he got absolutely sunned in that game. Dewey had absolutely nothing. No one did though. Fainu. That's the thing. He wasn't just doing it to the Dewey. Anyone who went near his edge, he was like a tarantula. Just went. I heard the commentators. If your boys been listening to him, you know I call him the octopus. Like he's got tentacle, like he's got suction things on his hand. And I heard him saying it. I'm like, I wonder if they picked that up from me because I've never heard anyone use the octopus as like a term for a player. And I know. I'll happily say if I got a saying from someone, like if I'm like blah blah, I'll be like, I got that from so and so. I didn't get that from anyone. I just like watched him play. I'm like, bro, he's like an octopus, and I was sort of called him an octopus. I heard him saying it in commentary. I was like, I wonder if they got that from me. Well, someone said it, and then it went around, But they said a good one too. They called him straight jacket. They called him the Campbell straight jacket or something like that. And like, he's incredible. I was sitting there watching the Stephen Crichton game, going, wow, his defense is bloody nice. Then I watched bloody Campbell Graham. I'm like, that was better. But I think Crichton has him covered in other areas. So I'm not saying he's better or anything, but just defensively. And before Campbell Graham went down, I'm pretty sure everyone will agree with me that he was hands down the best defensive centre in the game. And it looks like it's somehow got better. Man, it was insane. And then I didn't even mention that he literally saved the game from by knocking the ball out of Galvin's hand at the end. Like, he's so incredible, bro. I was, such a huge fan. Another thing, so Trell obviously was busy in this game, but one thing I really liked was his positional play, which he can get caught out of a little bit, was 10 out of 10. There was a few opportunities, and then Trell just went, scooped up the ball, tackled. I was like, it was actually flawless. Really, really good. That's about it, really. We've already talked about Kulamatangi. Tigers, look, they've got to be better, man. They've got to be better. I never thought that Tigers actually defended pretty well here. I never thought a Benji Marshall coach team would defend better than they attack. And they actually did. I know Rabbitohs put 22 on them, but Rabbitohs had heaps of field position. They dominated territory. Like, they had a lot. Like, they could have easily put a score on here. They got Latrell Mitchell. They got try scoring on the edges. They've got Koloamatangi playing God mode. Like, one of the best games a front rower can play. And they held him to a low score till the 78th minute. I mean, they were right, like, crazy, man. Crazy. I do think the Tigers are missing Pole. I mean, I know they missed him for half a game last week in this game. I thought Royce Hunt was actually pretty good, but I just like him coming off the bench better. The only thing I couldn't understand, I thought was a massive L from Benji, was I don't know why he took Toa off and put Brett Naden on. I thought Toa actually looked okay. He just hadn't had his opportunities that he normally would. I thought he looked okay. I might have been wrong. Maybe I missed something he did or whatever, but I thought he was actually pretty good. So I didn't understand that at all. And just quietly too, we talked about Campbell Graham's defence. I don't know if Humphreys has been taking lessons from him, but that was one of the best defensive efforts I've seen from a number 7. He's goosh, but like still, like he was. You ain't going nowhere, buddy. Super impressed. Shout out the Bunnies, man. I didn't think they'll make the 8, but I didn't think they'll be in bottom 8. They're definitely doing better than I thought they were going to. Hopefully they can keep going. Let's have a look at next week, boys, and get the hell out of here. We have Doggies versus the Finns. We have Eels versus the Sea Eagles. Oh, Turbo's going to kill them. No Moses, no Lomax. Turbo doesn't get picked. GG's Eels. Penrith Panthers, Newcastle Knights, Roosters, Sharkies, Wahs, Raiders. Ooh. That's going to be a good game still, that Wahs Raiders, because they're both only losing a player each. That's going to be a good game. This will be a really good game. All right, that's it, lads. Thank you all so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.